Hello guys, and welcome to this core tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be covering how to use a new vehicle physics system. I'll be covering how you can use a default one, as well as create your own and use some of the API to make unique stuff. So let's get a car in here. As you can see, we have all kinds of ones you can pick from. Let's pick a pickup truck, for example. I have a small race track going on here, very basic, but something. Ignore this cars can be something we're showing off later. That's self drives. So as you can see, we can get in here by default and it works pretty well. We can use a back arrow, S to go back, brake and reverse. You can also do a handbrake with space, and it works pretty well. There's a few ways you can customize it, such as changing the max speed, acceleration, turn radius, but it's still pretty simple. There's some stuff you can do, like make a front wheel drive kind of. There's no official support for changing the type of drive it is from like rear wheel or all wheel, but you can change the center of mass to make it feel more like a front wheel drive in some sense. And it spins the back a bit more, and you hand brake and stuff to make it better drifting. You can also change the friction if you want to have like better drifting or something, more brake strength, and that kind of stuff. Now let's talk about how you can create your own custom car from the ground up. I'm going to download a car model from here. Read content. Let's get perhaps the maybe sci-fi car macro would be kind of nice. Actually, no, it doesn't have wheels, does it? Cargo van, I think, would be cool. Let's get the cargo van. It's not showing up there. So we have the cargo van, and we need a four-wheeled. Yes, let's just look up vehicle. What's it called? Four-wheeled vehicle. I'm not sure why it isn't showing up when I put it in there. Anyways, let's put this in context. And we should probably set this to a position of 0, 0, 0, so it's perfectly there. Now, as you can see, if we press play, it kind of works, I guess, but it just isn't perfect. So, as you can see, wheels aren't turning or anything, so we have to make that work. So what we can do is we can change the wheels here. So front left wheel, front right wheel, back left wheel, and back right wheel. You can change these numbers if you want to have it perfectly aligned. I'm not going to bother too much, I guess maybe a little bit. It's like -120 perhaps. -110. I think it's a bit better. You can change these numbers all around to get it working nicely. But all in all, it's really pretty easy to do. And now it's not working correctly. Oh, okay, I see the issue. This isn't properly in here, so I have to put the wheel, actually, not just the parent root. Now it should be working, hopefully. You can ignore that thing. I'm showing you that later. It isn't fully working, but it kind of works. And as you can see, wheels now turn. There is this weird spinning glitch with them, still trying to figure that out. A few other people have encountered the issue. Hopefully it gets fixed soon enough. I have something motion blur. I have no idea what it is, so that's about how you can create your own custom one. There's other stuff you can change the gravity scale mass is probably like 3,500. And of course the body scale should be about 2 here, maybe 3. You know, that kind of stuff, like set this to 60. Now it's a bit better. Flips over better and all that. That's all pretty simple stuff. Let's talk about the API there is for it now. To start off, there's the default vehicle API. It's pretty simple, I'm sure you all know about it. It's just has a few read-only properties, which I don't really tend to use. You can't change these, and you can only view them, which I don't really find to be super helpful. But you have the functions here: set driver, remove driver, add impulse is one of my favorites, get physics body offset, and get physics body scale, which I don't find useful. And there's this is just kind of useful, but also not too useful. So obviously I'm not going to go into these, is I personally don't really find much use for them. But we go over some hidden things that aren't really known too much. So a vehicle is a physics body. So what that means is in the core object field, you have a few cool little things you can use, such as set velocity, set angular velocity, get angular velocity, set angular velocity, get velocity. And basically these few functions from the physics objects, like this, just this. So these are very useful functions, and that's how I made the self-driving car that I'm showing off here. And we're going to code it in a second. There's a slight issue, as you can see. It's gonna start not working properly there. Something wrong with math, I'm supposing, but now if you're going to here my studio code window up. So what we have is a loop, pretty simple. We just have a few variables such as speed, churn rate, churn slow down rate. We have the nodes and we loop through the nodes. And the interesting part is this. This is only, vehicle set velocity. Using vehicle set velocity, you can basically do whatever you want with the vehicle, assuming you can do the math, which I'm having some issues with, but you can set the velocity, and I would recommend just setting it without doing this. So what you want to do is do a vector3.lerp of the old vehicle's velocity, then like 0.1 and a new one here. What this does is so that the vehicle is still kind of affected by gravity and other stuff, so that you don't completely reset it, otherwise it's no longer really pointing a physics vehicle. As you can see, you can still get in it, and it still flies itself, following the path of nodes. This part does break because I know I have to do math, and it doesn't work well. And I have all of this basically, and see if this fixes it perhaps. Point is that assuming you have the right math skills, which are vector math, whatever, it should be possible to do basically whatever you want using the set velocity, set angular velocity APIs. You can also set position, set rotation, all the functions from the core object. So you have all of this, and this is pretty standard. One thing I do want to point out is that it is not a smart object, which is annoying in my opinion. Find it. Which means, in my opinion, I thought that when I first checked out the vehicle system, you'd be able to use the set smart property field to change these. Unfortunately, you can't. That's something that isn't very fun to know, but I guess it's something I want to point out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Feel free to join our Discord if you need any help with anything, and as I'll be definitely helping out there with stuff people need. Anyways, have a good day.